Good Thursday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Henry Blakes here at the First Alert Weather Desk with your WFB First Alert Weather Extra. The good news is that we've got nice weather across southeast Louisiana and southwest Mississippi for now, but we've got a couple of things that we're going to eventually talk to you about. Notice we do have a cold front that extends all the way from Oklahoma up into Canada. Much of the rain is well to our north and east. Now, as this pushes south, it's kind of going to clip the viewing area, so not really expecting anything from this frontal system across the WFB viewing area. On the other hand, we've got a second cold front which is racing through North Dakota, giving them some pretty chilly showers and temperatures mostly in the 50s and 60s. That front should make its way down to the Gulf Coast as we go into the later part of the week, and that will give us a couple of drier days starting on Sunday. But for now, we're just watching the cold front that's going to kind of clip us, but Mississippi could get in a little bit of that drier air. But here across the deep south, close to the coast, we're not really going to get that much of an impact from that front as it misses us. The next front is well to our south, still impacting the Sunshine State, giving them daily chances of showers and thunderstorms. That's not going to impact us either. But for the moment, we got a few fair weather clouds out there. Looking at the new bridge on our Sky 9 camera, the day is gorgeous, but our temperatures are quickly rising. In fact, over the next couple of days, our highs are going to be a few degrees warmer or hotter than they have been in recent days. But we're already at 87 degrees at Baton Rouge Metro at the 11 o'clock hour. And notice other places are just as warm. Lots of 87s from New Iberia, Lafayette, up into Gonzales. That seems to be the primary number. Even Hammond and Bogalusa reporting 87. One of the cooler spots, Macomb, Mississippi at 83 degrees, but eventually you will be warming up like the rest of us. In fact, it already feels like 95 at Baton Rouge Metro as well as Lafayette. Those heat indices are going to be in the mid, maybe a few upper 90s, but our actual temperatures for today likely going to reach the mid 90s across the Baton Rouge area. Going with 93 for the time being, should be hitting that around 2, if not between 2 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. And that is kind of going to be the trend as we go into your weekend as well, with those slightly above normal temperatures, because our normal high is around 91 degrees. Instead, we're going to be a few degrees warmer than that all across the I-10-12 corridor, and that extends all the way into Texas. As for our rain chances, very minimal, pretty much non-existent for the next couple of days. We will have a slight chance of a shower or two later next week, but for now, don't expect anything significant, let alone measurable, over the next several days. The tropics, on the other hand, still relatively quiet, but the National Hurricane Center is still monitoring a tropical wave in the Atlantic. This is the 7 o'clock advisory as of this morning, Thursday, September 4th. Still has an 80% chance of further development as it pushes west. This will likely become our next tropical depression, at least by the end of the work week, if not over the weekend. So that's why the National Hurricane Center is keeping it at that 80% chance of further development. Here it is right now. Notice it's not looking very impressive. We don't have that closed area of circulation right now, but once we do, eventually that is when it's expected to become a tropical depression. For the moment, thankfully, not expecting this to impact the Gulf Coast states, let alone the East Coast, but it is gradually forecast to make more of a turn to the north and hopefully missing the East Coast, especially with all of the frontal systems around. But for the moment, not really a threat to land at this time. But let's show your future cast, because you're going to notice that tropical wave. Eventually, we're going to start seeing an area of closed low circulation. That is when it's likely to become a tropical depression. You can see it right here. This is at 12:30 for your Saturday, and for the moment things aren't really looking that impressive. But notice as we get into the late part of the weekend, once we get that closed low, we should gradually get a tropical depression, maybe even a tropical storm. We can't rule that out, but for the moment, that is what we are going to be monitoring. High pressure, that Bermuda high still remains rather strong. That's going to keep those systems in the Atlantic eventually make its way closer to the East Coast, hopefully missing them. But the latest model trends do have it at least somewhere between Bermuda and the East Coast as we go through the next week or so. So we'll be watching that, but thankfully no tropical disturbances expected to impact the Gulf Coast region. As for our rain chances for the Baton Rouge area, 7-day forecast. Rain chance remain minimal, especially over the weekend. Remember, Saturday, that's a big football day. College football, both Southern and LSU have their first home games of the season. Looking for the win there, the big W. But as far as the temperatures, we're likely going to be in the low, maybe mid-90s, but these games are going to be during the evening. LSU kicks off at 6:30. Southern kicks off at 6 o'clock on Saturday. So by then, you should at least be in the mid, if not upper 80s, and then gradually, slowly get into the 70s after halftime, if not by the end of the game. Notice the temperatures gradually dropping a bit. Remember that cool front likely to push through sometime on Sunday. Could bring a stray shower or two. That's why for Sunday you have that 30% chance of a few showers or scattered thunderstorms. But when the front does push through, you'll notice that's when we start to get those 80s for our daytime highs. For now, it looks like Monday afternoon and possibly Tuesday morning could be our coolest, our most comfortable temperatures, and a lot less humidity as well. So it's going to be feeling pretty good for the start of the next work week. As for what's beyond, as mentioned, we'll be watching the tropics for that further development of the tropical wave. Hope you have a great Thursday. I'd like to thank everyone for watching your WAFB First Alert Weather Extra. Be sure to tune in to 9 News at noon. Jeff Morrow will have the latest for your afternoon weather and weekend updates. And we'll also have more going on